Hi there, it's Willis, Kiwi Scrapper from New Zealand, and I'm going to share with you today a little project I've been working on for several days now. And it was actually I haven't worked out how to put pictures, photos in my video, so I haven't got a on my Facebook I'll have a before and after picture. But this was a little French, well, I don't know whether she was French, she looked French, a little doll that I found, a lady doll I found in a thrift shop, op shop, charity shop, whatever, op shop here in New Zealand. And she was dressed as a like a Pierrot figure, but she wasn't done in black and white. She had a cream or beigey coloured satin, long puffy pants, all in one, like a onesie, and that was all she had. And she had no hair. She just had this turban, and not a very pretty one. She was very grubby and dirty. Her face was just devoid of any colour. Her lips were pale orange. You couldn't see them properly. There was no definition. Her face was very, very pale. So I had to put some lipstick on her and put some blusher paint in her cheeks. Anyway, so I totally redressed her. And I've been inspired by VAR, and that's Bianca. Oh, is it 4330? I'll have to check on that. I'll put it in the description box below. My apologies, VAR. She's dressed up several dolls, very shabby chicy. And the other one I've been inspired by is someone that VAR actually introduced me to via a video that she had a few months ago. And that's a lady living in the Netherlands, and she's called Marijke van Ooijen. And I've been in touch with Marijke, and I'm quite excited because she's going to, like she did for VAR, she's going to make me something special. But anyway, if you go on her blog, her little and sort of dressed up animals and bears and dolls, absolutely beautiful. So I was inspired by her. So by that, I've done enough talking. So this is my transformation. She's a long girl. I'll try and put her in that way maybe. This is all her beautiful clothes. Now I'm just going to show you to begin with. She was a lady doll. She's wearing high heels, and I was going to alter them to a sort of a creamy goldy colour, but they wouldn't have shown up very much. Anyway, this is what she had on, and I've kept it on because it was I wanted to keep her original clothing on if I could. So this is what she had on. This is like, big pantaloons. I put the lace around the bottom. It was just like a plain cuff, so I trimmed it up with some lace. So this is all she had. No lace, nothing, just these, and it has a little bodice attached to it. So I used those as my foundation, and this is, I gathered this all up by hand. This is a lovely curtain that I had, and that looks absolutely, I thought that was absolutely beautiful. So I put that on her as a lovely skirt over her pantaloons, and then over top of that I tea dyed this one, and this was a cream net, so I've tea dyed it into this lovely colour, so that I hand stitched that. And then I hand stitched this I tea dyed this beautiful embroidered lace. It's on organza, and it was a very stark white. I didn't want that, so I tea dyed that as well, and that came up with a beautiful colour. Isn't it gorgeous? And I went round and I embroidered that all by I gathered it all by hand and then put it onto the doll over top of the other two skirts. And then here I've done a whole lot of little lace tassels. As you can see, this one is the same as this first layer of her skirt. This one is totally different. And then over top of that, I've used this this beautiful little. It was off a wedding applique, but it was all dangly. Isn't it just gorgeous? and I haven't had a chance to use it. I've never used it. I've had it for several months now and I've never used it, so I decided that this is the project that I wanted to use that for. There's another piece of the dangle there. And then on top of that I put this little rosette. This rosette was stark white. It came off a child's clip. You know, they have them, there was a set of 5 to a packet for $2 at the $2 shop. So I tea stained it to get this lovely colour. I wanted it darker than the others, so I tea stained it for longer and popped this little, this I cut off a, just this, oops, this one here. So I just cut, I hope it's light enough in here. This is my dining room I'm filming in. Yes, so I cut that off and put it at an angle, so it's sort of like a diamond shape. Okay, the bodice part. She already had the bodice that was attached to these satin pantaloons of hers. So over top of that, I put this beautiful tea stained wedding applique. I tea stained that quite a while ago for a fabric book I was using, and I never used it. I had too much of it, so round her waist I put a beautiful tulle band. Now on her original bodice she had all the silver, you can just see a bit peeking out there, silver very tinsely embroidery, so I didn't want that, so I covered it up with this applique. You can see a bit up here as well, but you can't see it when she's displayed. Big puffy sleeves with these lovely caps over them. Okay, and then around her neck I put this, I gathered up some tea stained some lace to match this bit here in intensity, because I tea stained this tulle as well. You can, you know, when you're tea staining, depending on how many tea bags you put in and how long you leave them in, you can get the colour you want. So this, I wanted this much darker to match this flower, and then I gathered that up by hand and put it as a frill around her neck. Now you'll see her face is much more animated. I used some dusky pink paint, acrylic paint of mine, and with my finger I very carefully smoothed it in over her. Her face was almost white, it just had no colour. And as I say, her lips were so pale orange you couldn't see them. So I've just coloured up her lips a bit very carefully. I haven't touched her eyes because I don't think I'm good enough to start tackling eyes in my painting skills. Anyway, so there. This is the hat I made for her. As I say, she had just this very grubby looking turban, very plain. It made her look very austere. She didn't look very pretty at all. So I gathered another frill of this lace, and tea stained lace, put it all around her head, and then over top of that I put this braid right the way around. Then over top of that again I cut out of a little organza applique I had. It was a flower. And this is a whole bunch of flowers here, and then in the middle of each one I put a little pearl, tiny flat back pearl. Here I've put the same rosette, tea stained rosette as down here, and the same little centre. And the back of it, because she had no hair, on the back of her I put 2 doilies. One's a white doily underneath that, and then over top of it I put this doily, and then this was what was tied in a knot around the turban that she had, so I untied it and cleaned it all up, and then I've retied it so that it looks okay there. And I've got, to match the streamers on her dress, I've got some streamers down here, and then part of the embroidery on this little flower embroidery there on an organza, I cut the 2 leaves out and put them here. I don't know whether you can see that. That's the leaves. They're tea stained, and then right on top I've just put a little cream kansashi flower with a little diamante. So that makes up her hat. Now the back, it's got a little jacket with there's some lovely tulle frills coming down off here, which is what goes over her shoulders, and then a little tulle thing coming over here. And this is a handmade flower that I made. I've been longing to use that, so I've put it in there. And then at the back of all her frills and things, I put this was around her waist, and I just lightly tea stained tulle, and that goes right the way down here. So that hangs a long way down. Right, getting back to here, turn around again. I had this little bag that I picked up in a tiny little bag. It was just stuffed with polyester fibre and had a horrible flower on the front, so I cut that off. And then I didn't want to lose these nice things here, these sort of ruching. So on the front I put a doily on each side, and then I put one of these little things that I cut out of the longer strip that I've used in the dress and the hat, and put them here. And inside, I've just hung it from her wrist so she's carrying it. And inside this, there's this gorgeous little bear that I've dressed. And hopefully I'll get her out. Now, I've had this bear for years, and she just sat naked in a cupboard because she wasn't an attractive bear, so she's just a cheap bear, and I don't know why I got her, but there you go. So I dressed her all up, and I hand gathered this little dress for her, which is the same as this lace that I've used in the thing. I hand gathered all of that. Then I popped a little tea stained bow in her hair that matches this that was white that I tea stained, and popped a little pearl in there. So that's her. So that's her little bear. So she's going to carry that little bear everywhere she goes because she loves it. I might have to pop it in later because you've got to wiggle it in a bit, because she's got a dress on. When I popped her in first, she was naked, so she fit in better. There you go. There she is. So that's her. So that's, she can sit up, and when she sits up, she'll have all her skirts all gathered around her, and her knees also bend. So that will be what she looks like when she's sitting up. And I'm just so pleased with her. Again, she's something that my husband just can't believe that she looks so nice now, and when she looked so awful before. And I must say, I've had her for a while, probably, I don't know, maybe about 4 or 5 months, and you know, I wondered why I bought her really, and in the end, because I thought, what on earth am I going to do with her? She was just so awful and horrible and looked so awful. But I'm really pleased, and thank you, Va, for that inspiration. And Marijke, she doesn't come on YouTube, I don't think, at all, but an incredibly talented lady. Va just recently got a beautiful handmade teddy bear off her, absolutely gorgeous. So as I say, I'll put Va's name in the description box below, and you can catch up with her. And Va, if you're watching, which would be lovely if you were, again, as I said, I just thank you for that inspiration. And look at that. I've got several dolls of different forms and perros. I've only got one of those, but it's bigger than this, waiting to be redressed. So I'm going to start getting onto them. I was so thrilled with the way this one turned out, and I just love her and her little teddy bear and her, you want to stay there? In her little pouch. Well, you look that way. There you go. So there she is in all her lovely glory. From top to bottom. I just love the fact that there's so many layers as well. She's got 3 layers of skirt. And, you know, because they're soft tulle, they're not sticky out tulle. And I love the little jacket, tulle jacket. And I love the hat. I love it all, actually. I'm really pleased with all of her. So I'm going to say goodbye for now. So ladies, if you've got any tatty looking dolls or anything that you've had for years and never done anything with, I hope you're inspired to, you know, to give them a go and dress them up. I used to dress my antique dolls, which are very intricate, but I haven't done any hand sewing for several years now. So this has started me off again on doing some of this type of doll. Okay, I'm going to say goodbye for now. See you later. Bye.